Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for House Stark. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tyler.
Tyler, what Game of Thrones house are you?
Oh, hold on. You tell me what you are. Come back to me. Come
Well,
back
I
to
know I don't know a lot about Game of Thrones, but I know that there are two houses, and I know that there are more, but I only know two. So I'm going to be Lannister because I'm blonde, and I wish I was rich. So that's what I pick, and I want to be friends with Tyrion because what's his name? Peter Dinklage is the best. I love the Dink. All in on the Dink. So that's where I'm at.
You know, everyone loves the dink, Here's the thing,
yeah.
though, Cody. Spoilers for Game of Thrones. They're not rich, all right? They're rich because their dad says they're rich, and everyone believes them.
Look, if I'm treated like a rich person, that is the same as being rich in my book. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, no, Cody. Oh, Cody. Oh, Cody.
You've seen the whole show, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to
What
pick the
research are you
obscure
doing?
one that nobody knows so I can sound cool and get
gosh.
internet points. It's the one with the trees, Cody. Here's the thing. They talk about...
The
You've seen the
Ents.
show. They got the ironwood. They're the ones that have the ironwood. They're the only ones that have it. And they're like, we got the wood. We know what's up. And then they're with the House Stark or whatever.
Hold on.
And
So
so
Lannister always pays its debts, but this house, their motto is "We got the wood."
I'm not gonna lie to you, Cody. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to what it actually is. Here's the thing. I googled Game of Thrones houses, I need to see. That's the thing. I just said houses. I need to say house with trees. That's what I'm trying to find, and it's not giving me anything. It's giving me a lot of trees of the different houses and how they're related, and that's not what I want. Not only is it not what I want, it's not what I need. Okay,
GOT houses special wood. That's what you Google. That's how you
It's
get the dirt on
It's
that.
the Ironwood. Game of Thrones house.
Just Google.
Ironwood.
Just Google Game of Thrones wood, and then do your image search on that. That's what
Is
you
their
wanna do.
house name House Forrester?
Game of Thrones
Boom. Nailed
wood.
it. No,
Safe
stop. I
search
got
off images.
it. Is House
GIFs.
Forrester? Their words are iron from ice, and then there's a Best Buy ad that popped up over it. Iron from ice. It's Ironwood. Here's why.
I really think
Forrester.
We Got the Wood is a better.
We Got the Wood is a better one. That's their modern. That's their modern thing. Their military strength pre-Red Wedding was 500 guys. Now, 50. Okay, the Red Wedding did not go well for them.
Wow. House Forester, you say?
Oh yeah, why? Because they got the wood. Cody.
Because Subaru. Is that the one Subaru sponsored?
Yeah, they drive around
okay.
in a Subaru. The whole
They drive around in Subaru and they got the wood.
yeah.
That's Tyler, what did we watch?
We watched Eternals. Eternals. I gotta say it with an accent because they all got accents, Cody.
Oh yeah. Vague eternal accents. Oh, we did it. We seen it. It's Marvel time. It's been a while. It hasn't been that long. Shang-Chi just came out. I did, in honor of Shang-Chi, I bought another bomber jacket. My bomber jacket count is up to 3, which I feel like is pretty strong. It's pretty good. You can always use more, but I got another one. It's vegan suede. Isn't that fun? It's
So
gorgeous. I'll show you. I'll show you later.
Vegan suede is the douchiest way of saying it's fake suede, right?
Look, that's what the sticker says, all right? I saw it, I seen it, and I bought it. That's
They
how
were
you
very
know.
ethical in the way that they skinned that baby cow. Is that what you're trying to
Yeah.
tell me?
And what they do is they skin the baby cow, and then they nurse it back to health and let it regrow its skin. Right? That's how you do vegan suede.
Yeah.
You're not killing the animal,
Yeah.
Just harvesting its goods.
Torturing it.
Yeah. Ethically. So, Tyler, we did it. We saw it. Do you care to explain what Eternals is for those who are unaware?
All right, here I got you.
Give
Okay,
me a synopsis of this movie.
I'm gonna give you this synopsis, Cody. I'm gonna give it to you. This is about Eternals. They're they're Earth's original superheroes. I liked that line from the movie. Earth's original superheroes. They were sent by a guy that looks like Galactus, but is not Galactus, to defeat the Deviants. And the Deviants, their venom is basically what they look like. They look like venom creatures. They look like those guys. They're all like fibers. So they're fibers with no skin. And then they're all sitting there flopping about because they hunt sentient creatures, right? Because that's what they feed on. Do they consume their sentience? No, they just want to eat only sentient creatures. They're like, "Are you sentient?" And if the thing says no, then they eat it because it could answer. It's aware of itself enough to know it's not sentient. That means it's sentient, Cody. What makes a sentient creature? That's what you're asking. Self-awareness, Cody. Some people say the fear of death makes you a sentient creature. That's a stupid philosophical garbage that all these university douchebags think. Everything fears death, you wieners, okay? It is, you're just self-aware. You are aware of yourself as an entity. You can recognize your own reflection. You ever seen a cat smack itself in the reflection? That means it thinks it's another cat, and your cat is stupid. My cat's smart. It was like, I'm looking good, and then it like went like this a little bit to wipe off a thing on its face. My cat was sentient, and then I locked him in a crate until he was no longer sentient, so he would go back to being my cat. Okay, that's what you do, Cody. Now, if Thanos, or no, not Thanos, what, Galactus, Erasmus, whatever his name is, had done that in this one, with all the people, it would have been fine, but maybe not fine. And that's the whole thing. And then they're doing stuff, it's all the people you love from Game of Thrones. And they're messing about. And what's his face is jacked now. And everybody's been freaking out about it for 10 years. That's how long it seems since he first got
jacked for a while. Kumail Nanjiani got ripped a minute ago.
Yeah, he got ripped.
And comedian
for this
ripped
movie.
is the scariest kind of ripped. Like, for someone to have gone from being a stand-up comedian and gamer to totally jacked, it's scary. It makes you question existence.
Here's what I love though. He's still Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh yeah.
He's not like different in the way that he like acts.
Here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this. Okay? I'm worried he's gonna go Chris Pratt. Okay? I'm worried he's going to go to Chris Pratt and be like, you know what? I need a fitness wife now. And he's going to, because Chris Pratt left Anna Faris, and we thought they were the cutest couple ever, and we loved them all for their dorkiness. And then Chris Pratt got hot and was like, let me just marry Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter instead. And still don't know how I feel about it. And I don't want Kumail to do it because he literally made a movie about how he and his wife met and overcame their obstacles to fall in love and get married. So, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to the big sick.
Is that
that's what I'm afraid of every day. Every day I wake up and I'm afraid that Kumail Nanjiani will leave Amy, what's her name?
Schumer.
Forget her name. No. That would be fine. So, Emily Gordon?
I don't know what you're
Sounds
saying.
Right. What's Kumail Nanjiani's wife's name? That's the question.
Emily Gordon.
That's what I'm very good. Okay. We did it. We saw Eternals. We explained kind of what it was. So let me tell you, Tyler. I think, here's the thing. You told me you have thoughts about it. I have thoughts about it. Well, here's what I want to do. On the count of 3, I want us both to say in like one word what you thought. Liked it, loved it, hated it, didn't like it. Okay? So just simple scale. Good, bad. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to count down from 3. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Loved it. Yeah. No.
What?
I am all in on this movie.
What?
I had a great time. Bailey had a great time. I had a friend who said, should I see it? And I was like, yes, you see it. Great. He had a good time. I thought this movie was awesome, and I am confused because people did not like it, and it has a lot of bad reviews. So we got to critically. So we got to get into it. Tell me about your thing. You said liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I did like it. I thought it was. I see why people don't like it. You know what I mean?
Oh, you see why? No.
Yeah.
I don't see why. That's where I'm at. Like, I have an idea why people might not like it, but I don't know if the thing is, the reason why I think people don't like it is not a reason for the critics not to like it. So that's why I'm confused. Because the audience score is higher than the critic score. And so I don't understand why the critic score is so low. Because we're going to have to, I can't talk about it without diving in and spoiling things.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I think so. I can say something without spoiling it. Before we get into it, Cody. I think it it is like this is such a different area of the universe that it doesn't benefit at all from all the other movies. So it has to explain everything in its stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, I feel like it's inconsistent with the rest of the MCU.
Okay.
It does not line up with it very well, other than some throwaway references that are unneeded, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's them straying back towards more comic booky storylines, which is what people didn't like about old comic book movies. But I like it. But I can see why the general people wouldn't like it.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Okay. I hear you. I see you. Now I want to dive in.
All right. Cody, hop on my giant Dorito chip. All right. Hop on the Dorito. And let's fly over to Spoiler Town, USA. Cody, let's go. Let's go. We're going the Dorito. It makes a sound as it moves.
Oh yeah. Tyler, do you want the honor of ranting first, or do you want me to rant first?
Let me ask you this: do you have a rant, or do you need my rant to fuel your rant? Because it's been a little while since you've seen it. Mm-hmm. So, do you need me?
I could definitely talk for a bit. I could. Do you want to have to deal with responding to everything I say, or do I want to do?
You know what? I'll go first. I'm gonna take it.
All right.
I'm gonna take it from you, Cody. Let's
do it.
We'll see how it goes. Okay. And shut your face, Cody. You shut.
I do have a timer ready.
All right.
Are you ready, sir? Sir, good sir.
I've been ready. All right.
Your time starts now.
All right. I love Richard Madden and Kit Harington so dang much. That's my first note, Cody. Okay, my first note is I love them. They're my favorites. Everybody, they're sweet boys. I was so mad when we're in Spoiler Town right now. I'm about to spoil Game of Thrones. Robb Stark freaking dies. Okay, he gets his head chopped off. It gets sewn. He gets his wolf's head gets chopped off. Gets sewn onto his body, and they parade him around. They're awful people. Don't watch Game of Thrones, Cody. Everybody out there, don't watch it. It's a bad show. It is an abusive relationship. To a T, okay? That's what it is. It's you and another entity having an abusive relationship. Just don't do it. The books are also bad. They're poorly written, okay? So just avoid it for the rest of your life and you'll be happy. Just play Elden Ring, all right? That looks good. It looks fun. It'll be the same kind of thing, all right? Why would you cast Richard Madden, Robb Stark, and Kit Harington, Jon Snow, in a movie where the love interest is Cersei? Okay, that's a dumb move. I love them. I'm glad they were cast. I love those two actors. They're sweet boys. They're strong boys. I love. Here's the thing. There's a Call of Duty game with Kit Harington in it. Nobody liked it. Everybody's like, this is like playing Halo. I love Halo. It was amazing. It's the best one ever. Because Kit Harington plays some crazy warlord from Mars that invades... he's human, though, is when they colonize Mars. You know, classic colonize Mars. Mars takes about 30 seconds to look around and be like, this sucks, rebel. And then they rebel, okay? So now they're doing that. So anyway, so Sprite is Pinocchio. The whole movie is Pinocchio. You're welcome. That's the entire movie. I spoiled the whole movie. Sprite's like, oh, I'm a real boy. And then, psych, now she's a girl, okay? It's a real girl. She's not Peter Pan. She's not Wendy. She's not... Tinkerbell, she's Pinocchio, okay? Here's what I told Tiffany, all right? Here we go. Ready? So, this is the only one that makes sense, okay? Kit Harington, Wendy. Cersei is Peter Pan. Icarus, he's Tinkerbell because he can fly, okay? These are what you need to know, Cody. The rest of them, I don't know what they're doing. They're Lost Boys, they're pirates, who cares, okay? Selma Hayek is Tiger Lily, okay? Why? Because that's racist. Probably. I don't know. Cody, Tiger Lily is the thing that Tiger Lily was my first crush. Okay, so Tiger Lily, Selma Hayek, she's good looking, so she's Tiger Lily. All right, now we're moving on, Cody. There's an elderly Chinese man with an adorable puppy that was very well behaved the whole movie. In the movie theater, he was there. And then I wrote this. As we were leaving, I found this out. Puppy has a special puppy stroller, okay? Just so you know. Now you know. Now, Cody, here's what I told you at the beginning. Marvel is very inconsistent, okay? They're inconsistent when it comes to what? Celestials. What are they? Are they Kurt Russell? Are they giant crystal star factories? All right? I need to know answers. I don't need your dumb BS about this isn't real and it's all different writers of comic books that didn't have to link them all together and now they're just trying to mush them all together. I need answers. Kurt Russell came in and he's like, I'm a Celestial. Star-Lord's half Celestial. And now you got freaking giant crystal monsters that's like, hey, look, I look exactly like Galactus. I'm not Galactus. But also, I destroy planets just like Galactus. And it's like, what are you? What are you? All right. Bet you Galactus is his boss or something. Who knows? I don't know. What's the political infrastructure of them? Because it seems like Arishem is just kind of calling the shots for everybody and nobody knows who he is. Okay. It's like everyone in the movie is named by someone who thinks all this stuff is for nerds. All right, it's like, what's her name? Who is that Roman chick? I don't know. It's freaking nerd stuff. Athena, whatever. It sounds right. Who's all this other stuff? Bluebell. That's that guy's name. Right, it's every single name for all these people, all these heroes, all these ancient Roman or whatever gods. It's all just a little wrong. Where it's like, I was like, I don't know about that nerd stuff, so they purposefully get it wrong just to insult you. It's like when someone's like, "You play that Pokemon game? You play them Pokemans?" You know, when your dad would do that, and you're like, you know for a fact it's called Pokemon, Dad. You've spent $10,000 on these cards for me. Okay, you better darn well know it's Pokemon. All right, you watch the show every week with me. All right. Why would you put an impenetrable barrier around your house and not make a table out of vibranium? Okay? Tech dude, he wasted all his money. He wasted every cent he spent on those IKEA furniture garbage, okay? I have IKEA furniture. If I could make stuff with my bare hands and I still bought it, that would cause a fight. That would cause a fight over money in my house, okay? And then Tiffany took forever in the bathroom, and I had to sit there, and we were the last people out, and that was my last point.
Tyler, let me tell you, you have never timed your rant more perfectly, and I applaud you. Let me just give you a little. Well done. Well done, sir. I'm very proud of you. And now you need to shut up because I have things to say.
Oh, tell me.
Is it Pinocchio or is it Peter Pan? Because you said Pinocchio and then you listed all the Peter Pan characters, and now I'm confused, all right? I get it. I get you said the real boy thing, and I was ready for you to expound on it, and then you just named Peter Pan character. Peter Pan is a wonderful book, and I recommend when I have children, I'm going to read Peter Pan with them. I don't care what you said. Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh, maybe that's it. Roald Dahl's pretty good. That's it. That's the curriculum, okay? So which one is it? You can't say anything, but you better tell me. You better get ready. You better buckle up your butt, okay? I loved this movie, okay? I loved it so dearly, and I loved how heady it was. It was all philosophy. It was all religion. It was all mythology, muddled up into a Marvel movie, and I thought it was excellent. I love thinking, look, I loved that every character had their own perspective, their own ideas, their own powers. They went their separate ways. They had their own reasons for doing things, and I thought it was amazing that they could fit in so many different characters' personalities and pay off so many storylines, and I cared about all the characters, and I rooted for them in their own different ways. It touched on faith, and everything, you know, it's like, because some people do, they have that strong faith in their purpose and like their, what's his name? The name of the guy you said? The guy who's in charge, who gives them their orders, okay? And other people were like, no, we're doing our own thing. We've been here with the humans. Our perspective has changed. And I thought that was an amazing way to make a movie. Chloe Zhao, she did it. Knocked it out of the park, for me at least. I told you I was 50-50 on Chloe Zhao. I didn't like the writer. I did like Nomadland. So I was like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to land? The verdict's out. She's good. She's great. All right. I will let her keep her Oscar that she already won. Okay. That's where I'm standing. CZ, all in. All right. Good job. High five. Give me a high five. No, not you. Not you. Chloe Zhao. She's not here. Okay. So here's the other thing about this movie. It's one of the, it happens in Marvel movies. Okay. It happens in all movies. You get halfway through and you're like, I'm watching a movie. How am I feeling about it? You know? And sometimes it's like, it's all right. It's good. It's great. Two different times while watching this movie, I had the thought, I love this. Two different times. Okay. That's great. And I thought the movie kind of just got better and better. Based on the trailer, I was like, I'm all in because it's Marvel and it's Chloe Zhao and it's a great cast. So I'm interested to see. But the trailer didn't make me want to see this movie necessarily, you know? I was like, I don't know. I don't know about the look of it. I don't know about how it's going to go. And the more I watched the movie, the more invested I got. It just got better and better and better, and it ended. And I was like, you know what? High fives all around. I thought they did a wonderful job. I have a few critiques, sure, I do. 1, 2, 3, not that much. My biggest critique is that I don't know that they really paid off the deviant. You know, there's a deviant that's becoming sentient and is evolving, and it's like, oh, are the deviants going to pair up with the Eternals? Are they going to reconcile? Are they going to take down the Celestial themselves to get together? I mean, and then they kind of were like, we kill the deviant, high five. And like, well, the whole movie is about killing deviants, and then you realize maybe we weren't supposed to be killing deviants, but then you still were like, deviants suck anyway, so let's just save Earth for the Earthlings. It's like, well, so I didn't. That was the big flaw in the movie, I thought. Really, the only flaw, because I loved everything else. So am I interested to hear your thoughts on that? Yes. Because aside from that, it was so good. It was aesthetically very different from the other Marvel movies. Like, it felt like a lot more wide open landscapes and more natural kind of lighting, you know? And I just appreciated that aesthetically it looked very different. It's an ambitious project, okay? Not everyone can introduce, I don't know how many characters there were, like 7 or 8 or 10 in the team. I know they had to cut out like 3 that were in the comics. But this one, they had so many, and I was like, there's no way, because that's too hard. It's too hard to do. And honestly, I thought she did a great job. Like I said, I empathize with every character in its own way. I rooted for some a little more than others, but everyone, I saw their perspective, and I was like, that's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing to do. Kumail Nanjiani does Bollywood dance in this movie. So what else do you even want? What else do you even want? No, look me in the eyes. Could they have made a better movie? No. Kumail Nanjiani does a Bollywood dance and is delightful. So, haters out there, tell me why. Who hurt you? Who hurt you that you couldn't enjoy this wonderful movie? All right? That's my question for you. And for everyone else, it was good. It was very good. It was great. I loved it. I loved it. Look at me. Look at me.
No, stop talking, Cody. It's the end of your time. Don't keep going now.
So, I did it. I laid myself bare. So what do you have to say?
You know, Cody, I respect that that's how you think. But I agree with you, okay? I also think the Deviant went nowhere. It went nowhere, and I was mad about it, but also I was like, I feel like they were trying to make me feel about this Deviant and feel empathy for it, but also this thing eats humans and anything else sentient just because, okay?
Because that's what it do.
Yeah, that's what it did. Yeah. Okay. So also, yeah, I feel like eradicating them is a good.
But they never reconcile with it, you know? Like, they're like, hey, this thing can talk, and also it's looking more and more like people. Anyway, we killed it. Like, wait, shouldn't you have spoken with it now that it speaks and does things and has absorbed your essence as eternal? So aren't you going to reconcile with what it means to be an eternal, and also it is a deviant? And also you're opposed to each other, but you're only opposed to each other because your creator was the one that made like the creator made the deviants, was like, I'm just going to make some other things to fight the deviants. So it's like they never brought that up with the deviant. They never had that moment. And I get it. They had a bigger threat going on, but they spent a lot of time developing it. And I appreciate the deviant was more than just a creature. That's what it seemed like in all the trailers. You're like, oh, they fight deviants. Okay, cool. It looks like they're just having a CGI fight, and that's fine. Yeah. So I mean, but also, is it just enough to say, hey, look, the deviants didn't do anything wrong. They were just made that way. And instead of addressing it, the creator was like, I'll just have an opposing force to the deviants. And that's fine. That's enough. So is that enough? Or did you need to go through the point of saying, hey, look, these deviants are getting stronger and different and learning? Anyway, we still killed them. So I don't know. That was the weak point, I think, in the writing. And the rest of it was great.
Yeah, I I could have done without. Like, it felt like it took them so long to get the band back together. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
I get it. You know, it's like the heist movie kind of mentality and like structure where it's like we got to get the crew together, and that's a big part of the movie. And it's like, yeah, but it's a 2 hour movie, and I feel like you spent 2.5 hour movie, and I feel like you spent 2 hours going around and having philosophical discussions as to why you guys should all do the thing that you all agree you should do.
So
And then at the
good.
end, one guy's like, psych, this whole time I thought we shouldn't do this. And then another guy's like, you know what, I agree with him. And I'm like, well, this is stupid.
But here's the thing. This is what I appreciate about that. Because they are ancient beings. They've been around for so long. So I feel like their timetable is just a little different, you know? And it's like, oh, we've been separated for so many hundreds of years. So now it's like, I don't know. I liked the pacing of it. Like I liked that it didn't push and it didn't feel like other Marvel movies, you know?
Yeah.
I'm all about that heady discussion, you know? Give me all the head.
I mean, I liked it. I just could have done with them like, all right, we've got everybody together now. Now let's discuss, you know? As opposed to, let's go to this guy. We got to do this thing. Okay, cool. 20 minutes later. All right, let's move out to the next person. It's like, why did you wait so long? I also, I felt like the, was it Mad Weary? Was a bit of a pointless exercise. It's just like an excuse
Which one?
to the Mad Weary, the thing that like Thena had, so she's like, I can't
Oh.
fight, you know?
But then
Was
she does
bit-
fight.
But pointless because it was
Yeah.
just an excuse to get her out to like nerf her so that she couldn't just fight Icarus later. Like there was
Yeah.
more of a because I guess you know like if you didn't take her out for at least one fight, then there's no way realistically that you could have another one of the Eternals die because she's already shown that she can wade through like enormous numbers of these things without getting a scratch. So.
Yeah. I hear you, but I did like that it was like, yeah, we're Eternals, but not really. Because there does come a point where the burden of all the knowledge we have is too much, you know? So I appreciated that it did put some limitations on them.
Yeah. Well, it's also like the whole thing would be not so much that. Because that was the thing, is like they led it up to where it's like, oh yeah, eventually you just can't remember anymore because it's too much. But it was more like, oh no, it's more because the guy that made us messed up when he wiped your memory last and didn't actually wipe it.
Yeah.
And that's what it really is. Also, they're like, you tried to warn us. It's like, she tried to kill you. That was what really happened there.
Yeah.
She didn't try to she's like, everyone's going to die on this planet you've never heard of. Now I'm going to kill you all. It's like, what? That doesn't make sense. What you're doing here. That's not a very good warning system.
Yeah. Okay. I have an important question for you.
Hit me with this important question.
It's a question that I addressed with Bailey in the middle of the movie.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You have to answer with your heart. That's what you need to understand, okay? Kit Harington or Richard Madden?
Richard Madden.
Kit Harington. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Fight me. Let's go.
I mean, another spoiler for Game of Thrones. That means you prefer the Targaryens over the Starks, Cody.
I prefer... Well, I don't know. Whatever. Game of Thrones. Can't do it.
But he's half Targaryen, half Stark.
Which one's Targaryen? Is that...
It's the one where they bang their siblings, but also the Lannisters did that too.
Right.
But just the one pair of twins.
Just the one off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, Kit Harington. Behind it, we're so confused by his character. Because I was like, dang it. I don't know this hero at all. So I had to look it up. I'd be like, okay, what's his deal? So is it the Black Knight? Is that what he's called?
Black Knight, yeah.
He gets an old sword from King of Arthur days, and he's like good at swords.
Yep. That's
Cool.
exactly it. So the thing with Black Knight, right, is so in the comics, right, the it's like his character is the third one to be the Black Knight, and the one before him was a supervillain.
Yeah.
His uncle.
He's a naughty, naughty boy.
Yeah. Here's the real thing. Don't care about any of that, Cody. Just think about yourself caring about it. Blow that away. Stop it. Forget about it. The guy that says, "Are you sure you're ready for that?" Do you know who it was? Do you get it? Do you understand the implications?
Oh, I guess I literally just put it together right now. It's Mahershala Ali, right?
Yes.
As Blade.
Yes.
So he's going to be Blade. So he's going to be a King Arthur vampire fighter?
I guess so. I don't know how they're linked in the comics.
I mean, they both have blades.
It's true.
So.
It's true.
Okay, let's talk about the other thing that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
I love the valet. He's
Yeah,
so
you do.
awesome. He just follows around, doing the filming, helping out Kumail. I love that whole turn. And here's the thing. I love Kumail. He didn't get a lot of laughs in our showing. Which is why I need to start seeing these movies in Screenland Armor, like the night of premiere again, because those people get it. Kumail was delightful in this. I loved his dancing. I loved his jokes. I loved his character. I just thought it was so funny. They all went so many different ways, you know, like is it Cersei was doing the historian thing, and then Brian Tree Henry. Is that just, I always mess up his name. He's out there. He made a little family. You know, they're all doing different things. And then Kumail's like, no, I'm a famous rich dude. So he's like created his own Bollywood empire where he's like, no, my grandfather was this guy, then my father was this guy. You know, so he's just being himself over 100 years, but saying he's, you know, just the same generation of people. I was like, that's good, brilliant.
He's part of the greatest dynasty.
And he made like a Bollywood franchise about the Eternals, basically. I loved it. It was so good. I loved that it was like the third one in the trilogy, you know, and it looks a little bit cheesy, you know. I just loved it. It was so good. Oh, and the valet, what a sweet man. He just has more and more cameras. How many cameras did he have? Like 4 or 5, I think, because people keep destroying them. He gets like another smaller camcorder and then another little smaller thing.
Oh yeah,
he was awesome.
Yeah,
oh
I
man.
like him. Yeah. So here's my question for you. You know, of the Eternals, did you have a favorite of them? Like, especially when it comes to like their philosophy, and like, which one did you think was the most interesting, or which one did you like the best?
You make me pick a fave?
Yes.
A favorite? It's hard because, like I said, I really did empathize with all the characters, but I don't know if I can pick a single favorite. I appreciated where Cersei took the group. I appreciated Kumail for his comedic relief. I also really like, what's his name? What's the Asian guy who takes care of Thena?
Gilgamesh.
I really did enjoy Gilgamesh as well. Those are my top 3, I guess. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I feel like as a group, they all bring something to the table, you know? I like that they were all part of a whole. What about you?
I would say, well, like, because I'm thinking, I think the one I found the most interesting, you know, was Druig, because I feel like he had a very interesting perspective on their mission and what to do. Because, like, it's another thing, like, his power wasn't really useful for fighting the things.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Like, he was tough and could, like, punch hard. But outside of that, like, his main use, what seems like it was getting people out of their way. Whereas, like, so, like, and also, like, the fact that he could go into their minds and control them and all that, and knew he could stop all this bloodshed that they just kind of just stand by and watch. And then him, like, kind of kicking off them all separating by just taking, like, all those people from Teotihuacan, like, dipping into the woods.
Yeah.
And I found his whole thing very interesting, that he was like, I could stop all of this. Like, I could take over every mind on the planet and make it a utopia. And then it's just him basically being a cult leader in the rainforest. Right. And then, you know, like, the line where he says, he's like, I thought about taking over everyone's mind. And then they're like, I can't remember who he was talking to, but they're like, "Why didn't you?" And he's like, "Well, because without their flaws, they're not human." And because that's another thing that kind of shows character growth on his part from his like, I'm gonna stop this attitude to, him being there where he's like, and then it kind of gives you where like they're like, "Oh yeah, don't believe anything you see here," because it's like he controls all these people, so don't believe it.
Yeah.
And then to find out like, well, he didn't really control them, he just created this little and protected them.
Right.
And it showed like even once he dropped control of them when they were like trying to kill that one thing, they were like, "Oh, what's happening?" Like we're here because we want to be here, and he like told them to run away and all that. So
Yeah. He was an interesting character. I had a hard time with that actor because he's sort of like a bad guy, I guess, in a couple movies. He's in The Green Knight, and then he's in the movie The Killing of a Sacred Deer. And he's sort of this twisted, awkward young man that kind of ruins this guy's life. Like, it's weird. It's a weird movie. It's the same director as The Lobster. And the other one that I actually, the one about the Queen, whatever, the one with Emma Stone and the lady.
the favorite
Anyway.
or whatever.
Yeah, The Favorite. Yorgos Lanthimos, that's his name. So it's that director, and he has some weird movies. But anyway, so this kid is kind of like, he's the worst. And like, anyway, so to watch him, after watching him in that movie, he's ruined for me. So it took me a while to get into Drug. And I did come around to it, but I was like, oh, I can't watch this kid. I just can't do it because it just reminds me of the horrors of watching The Killing of a Sacred Deer. So just be warned if you watch that movie. It is an interesting movie. So anyway, but he is very well cast in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. And so to have him be like more of a good guy in this one, I was like, I'm not ready. So he did a good job. He is a good actor. Some other people considered for that role. Fun fact.
Oh,
So I know you love them. I know you need them.
I need it.
Also considered for that role, Keanu Reeves, Luke Evans, Rami Malek, and Ian McShane. And I think they all would have done decent. I don't know if I love Keanu. I don't know if he quite has the depth for this movie, but I think the other actors probably could have done a good job.
You trying
So
to say
just
Keanu
interesting.
couldn't come across as a cult leader?
I know he's too pure. Maybe he could have, because Druig is. Maybe he could have. Anyway, who'd you have picked?
Of those to play Druig or
Yeah. Keanu Reeves, Luke Evans, Rami Malek, Ian McShane.
I mean, I love Luke Evans,
Yeah.
so I gotta go with him just because he's in a thing. But I feel like Luke Evans, it's dangerous because Icarus is supposed to be the hot one.
Yeah.
So
See, I think. Yeah.
you can't put Luke Evans in there and then be like, "Look at Richard Madden, the hot one." Everybody's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"No, he's not."
No, it would have been like Druig mind control me, daddy. One of those. I think Rami Malek or Ian McShane would have been good choice. Here's the only thing about Ian McShane. There's one thing I kind of liked with this movie that they did. Salma Hayek is one of the older characters, and I feel like that worked really well for her. It made her seem more authoritative over the others. Like it kind of made sense that she was the leader of the group.
Yeah.
They also considered for that role Ana de Armas, Eliza Gonzalez, who I don't know, Gina Rodriguez, who's really good, and Naomi Scott. But Gina Rodriguez and Ana de Armas are both young. They're both in like their 20s. So I do think Salma Hayek was a good choice just because it did make her feel like, she's kind of like the mom of the group, sort of.
Yeah.
So I think if you cast Ian McShane as Druig, it would have been like, no, he's the old wise one, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, which I'm sure that is probably why it came down to doing it like that. Because there's even like some lines and stuff where it seems like they look at her like a mother figure. So another critique I have of the movie that I just thought of, right, was so when Cersei goes and speaks to Airstream, and Airstream's like, "All right, here's the deal. Okay, since you're the leader now, you're not really from this planet. You're robots that I built in this place, the World Forge, which I'm pretty sure is something they used somewhere else in the MCU. But whatever. And then she's like, "Oh, yep." And then he's like, "Yep. See, you're just one of a ton of Eternals that I built." And then it's like, it looks like they're just the same team. But then at the end, you got Harry Styles showing up like, "I'm an Eternal too. We're all different. What's up?"
Or-
and it's like,
Here's the thing. I don't trust anything Harry Styles said. I don't know. I don't know if that's real. You know what I'm saying? He showed
He's the
up
brother
looking
of
like
Thanos.
Shazam, and it was like, yeah, I don't know if you are. You know what I'm saying? So he almost struck me as like sort of like a Loki character, where it's like, all right, you seem a little tricksy. All right, I don't know what you're up to, but you're cool. Like you're a cool dude. Like I'll hang out. You know. So that was my thing, is I didn't know if I bought quite what he said. So I could be wrong. But yeah, I like that Patton Oswalt has been in like 3 Marvel things now.
"Oh yeah, because he plays Pip." Yeah,
Which one's
So-
Pip?
is it Pip? Was that his name? The little troll.
In
dude?
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's also in Mordock, the cartoon.
Oh,
Or not cartoon, it's claymation.
Pip the troll. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing, Cody. Cody, look at me. Look me in the eyeballs. Okay.
I see you. Yes.
Because I did some reading and I just double checked some stuff about this guy, this Star Fox, this Archbigger.
Star Fox? What's his name?
That's his name. This is how
It's
he's
Star Fox?
Star Fox, but it's one word, not 2 words. You fool, Cody. That's what I said. Okay. Or Eros or Aaron,
I mean,
but it's Eron. Okay.
okay, look, here's the thing. If you're
No.
doing Star Fox and you introduce yourself saying, hey, I'm Thanos' brother, that would be like if I showed up and I was like, my name's Jake Smith. I'm the brother of Barack Obama. You're like, those are different name categories. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Those are very different name vibes.
Okay. Here's the
Thanos,
more.
Star Fox.
Okay. They've established, Cody, where do baby Eternals come from?
The guy makes them in the
Guy
factory.
makes them in the World Forge. This dude, where did he come from? Titan. He was born on Titan to Mr. and Mrs. Thanos. Parents. Thanos.
Okay.
Parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Cody.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
What is
I
even
don't
real
know,
life?
man.
All right.
Look, I don't know what Kurt Russell is. I don't know what Thanos is, and I don't know what Star Fox is. But I know that Eternals. I don't know, man.
He was okay.
Okay, here's the
He was
problem we
born on
run
Titan.
into.
Oh, okay, give it to me. Okay.
No, I'm just gonna say. So Jack Kirby made these comics. Jack Kirby's known for doing lots of comics, right?
It's Jim Starlin. How dare you, sir?
What?
He's the one that made Star Fox, anyway.
No, I'm talking about Eternals.
Oh, do you know
Jack
for
Kirby.
a fact that is Jack?
Yeah, I learned about this in a video.
Fine.
So Jack Kirby made Eternals, and his whole thing originally was going to be a DC thing, but he's like, hey, I want to do my own thing, like my own universe, mythology, and everything. And it didn't work out with DC, and I think he was even considering doing like an independent thing of like, no, these are just, kind of like Invincible or some of these other like great comics, and like, this is just its own thing. It's a superhero thing outside of other superhero things. He ended up landing with Marvel, so really, this could be a standalone. Like you said, they tied it in, but this is really very much could have just been its own thing, like not even tied to Marvel, just its own comic book series. So that's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
And I love it as that. Like if you put it in a bottle separate from the others and didn't consider the implications of how's it tied in, I think it's wonderful. And you just got to sit back, turn your brain off, and enjoy the ride. All right, that's where I'm at.
Cody, how dare you? Because that's my thing. I'm gonna turn your brain off. All right.
But it's not even turning your brain off because it's so heady. Oh. The philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Because like You're saying I will let this exist in itself and see what they do with it? I don't know, man. That's where I'm at.
But what is an Eternal? Because Star Fox isn't Eternal, but he was born on Titan. But he's not big in purple. But that's okay because that's how he's supposed. He's not supposed to be big in purple. So was Mrs. Thanos, Mrs. Thanos' mom, Mrs. Mentor, Mrs. Mentor, sleeping around with humans or whatever?
Probably.
All right. Here's the thing. I meant to do more research on these characters. What I ended up doing was a lot of research on Moon Knight, okay?
Yeah.
Which always happens anytime I look stuff up for Marvel. It always goes to Moon Knight, okay?
Okay, Moon Knight. Right.
He's crazy. Cody, there's so many. Cody, I tell you.
Look,
right
you have
now,
a lot of questions, but keep in mind we're kicking off a new phase of Marvel. All right, they gotta bring in more stuff to do more stuff. Okay, that's what you don't understand.
Cody, I'm looking at a section of.
Oh, I can't see any of that.
No, it's fine. There we go.
Bright. Do you want me to read that?
No, I just want you to know. This is what I'm looking at. 90% of this is words that I don't know what they mean. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nihilistic. Yeah, it's not a real word.
Stop. Let me learn you something big about nihilism. Look, do you want to understand nihilism? Because I'll tell you exactly what it is. Are you ready?
There's nothing to understand about nihilism.
No, I'm going to do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to unlock the key in your brain to understanding what nihilism is. Ready?
I mean, The Big Lebowski already did this for me, Cody.
No.
But you gave it to me.
I have a better example. Rick. Rick is the nihilist. That's all you need to know. That's all you ever needed to know. Now you understand nihilism.
But what about the nihilists from Big Lebowski?
I don't remember. It's been too long since I've seen it.
Here's the thing, Cody. Let me learn you something big about the Big Lebowski.
Oh, is that where he's like, it's the nihil, like that's the who they think is behind the stuff?
Well, there's a group of guys called the nihilists that are wanting the money and asking him where the money is. And he's like, what do they want? And the guy's like, they're nihilists, Lebowski. They don't want anything.
Oh, man. I love that movie. What a great film.
Oh, so good. Iron Man and Moondragon. That's a Moondragon. Moondragon is
that
a
different
character.
from Moon Knight? Does Moon Knight fight Moondragon or in the same
I don't know, man. Captain Marvel. Oh, Tiffany. She's in the room. She's not saying anything. She's looking adorable, though. She got this striped sweater that's a turtleneck, and she looks very cute.
You know, the best time to wear a striped sweater?
Is all the time.
All the time, yeah.
That's why she bought it. It's the best time to wear a striped sweater.
One with the collar, turtleneck.
There you go.
That's the kind.
Yeah. We said it so perfectly. I just got a thing on Google Meet saying, you're getting an echo.
Oh,
you
my
want to fix that?
Oh, we've become one. This is wonderful.
Oh, so good.
We've been unified.
Yes,
and speaking of moons, I just learned about Reverend Sun Young Moon of the Unification Church cult. Have you heard about this cult? It's a big deal. And also one of the... Okay. It's a giant... Okay. It's a famous cult. And you know it's a good cult because they have a good nickname because they're called Moonies, which is just the best because it's Reverend Sun Young Moon. Okay. Reverend Moon has a cult called the Unification Church. Moon's Church. Okay. And I learned that they had one of their, like, in their umbrella corporation, one of their corporations, I think it's called True Foods. And it was one of the companies that, like, made a big push to popularize sushi so they could get rich. So this cult was a reason for the popularization of sushi. I learned that on a Hulu show, David Chang, called Food You Will Eat, What You Will Eat, something like that. Look it up. It's a great show. Anyway, also, here's the other weird thing about the Moonies. Is you roll up, if you're a member of the Moonies Church, you have to show up to a unification ceremony. So you roll up to it and it's like a church that does mass arranged marriages. And so you could go to the ceremony and just be like, hey, you're a Mooney. I'm a Mooney. I need to be unified with someone. Do you want to get married today? And then you just hook up. And yeah, it's crazy. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So they're the reason you like sushi. They have a huge stake in selling fish used for sushi, still to this day, I believe. And it's a cult where you get unified in a mass marriage thing.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. So anyway, that's what Moon Knight is from. Right? Am I right about that?
No, but yeah.
I know more than you do about Moon Knight because I watched this thing about the Moonies. So as far as I'm concerned, they're all the same.
Yeah. Exactly.
No one knows what it is. And I'm excited for the future. Chloe Zhao is the first Oscar winner. Okay, there are other Oscar winners that have directed Marvel movies, but she's the first one to have her Oscar when she did the directing and the movie came out. So, yeah, isn't that fun?
That is fun.
So, empirically, this movie's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it definitely seems like something that's directed more like at that caliber, I would say, and less like, just kind of like an action movie.
It's hugely ambitious.
Ambitious, that's a good
And the amount of scope, scale, and the number of characters. And I thought she did a great job.
All right, here's another question I have for you. Why do super hyper advanced civilizations always make their spaceships out of rock instead of metal?
It's more woke. All right.
Seems very brittle.
You're gonna go here and strip mine out for a big old piece of metal you gotta refine? No. You take a big rock and you carve it into the shape you need. All right. It's more earth conscious. It's more woke.
Okay. All right. Here's my rebuttal. She can turn anything. She could just turn that ship then into metal.
Oh, okay, hold on. I will say that was one of my favorite uses of her powers in the movie is when they're in the Amazon and all the people run into the shed, the building, the whatever, and then she turns it into like a steel fortress or whatever, like a metal fortress. I love that.
Yeah.
There were some cool uses of their powers in this one.
Yeah, that was a cool thing. Like I liked how their powers all seemed very much like they're meant to work as a team.
Yeah.
So individually they lose and die. And it's only together that they can like succeed at it.
Mm-hmm.
But also like it was like, because then at first I was like, oh, Ajak is like kind of, it's like, what the heck? She's the leader. She can heal him. Okay. They don't need her. And then they went to fight him and they didn't have her to like heal them. And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
This is going to go bad. It's a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they lost Gilgamesh, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, and I really liked to just talking about the philosophy of the movie. I love that they have to confront their origin and what their purpose is,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's always done in a Marvel. It's just like, hey, the thing you thought you were, that's not really what you're here for. And the mission you thought you were doing, it is not really. You're here just to serve this dude. Like it's not about protecting these people from deviants. It's about the end game is now we want people to get eaten because
The end game.
yeah, I just like that was the whole thing. It's like, oh, we fought out the deviants, great. Now people are thriving. Oh, and they get eaten. But it makes more people. So it's like, that's the big question. Is like, is that the right thing to be doing?
Yeah, because I mean, on the scale that like the Celestials are operating on, because you think like, well, that's 7 billion people you're just wiping out. But they do make a good point, and it's like on the scale that these guys are thinking about, it's like, yeah, one planet with several billion people die, so that billions of planets with billions of people can be created.
It's the same if I like crushed an anthill. Like in the scale of the Earth, if an anthill gets crushed, not a big deal. I mean, I'm not doing it for any purpose, but I'm just saying, if I was a celestial, I was like, yeah, no, people on this Earth have to go. Not the end of the world because we got other stuff going on.
Yeah, it'd kind of be like the best, like you said, the best way to do it would be like if you said, if I crush this anthill, another Earth gets created. And everybody'd be
Yeah.
like, "You can't do that. It's unethical." And you'd be like, "The f? Why is it unethical? We're talking about
Yeah.
making another Earth for the price of an anthill."
But I also really like that the whole thing with the deviants is they weren't intended to be created,
At
but
least not
it's
like they
also
are. Yeah.
but it what's that?
Like, so their intent was to like clear out predators. So that
Right.
and
And
then
so
they
the
started finding
deviants
sentience.
went wrong and they got in the way of the mission. So there's like, the Eternals,
Deviated.
they show up and they take, just like, oh yeah, no, your purpose is not what you thought it was. Like, yes, it's fighting the deviants, but like the deviants is just an error in our judgment or an error in our coding of the world. And so it's like, well, what other mistakes did you make? And is this whole thing a mistake? It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. That was, you have like Icarus, who's just kind of like, no, this is the right way to do it. Like, who are we to question them? Basically,
Yeah.
like, this is
Yeah.
the way it's been done for so long. Like, we're just tools for them to use. So like, we need to stick to that. Versus like Cersei's point, which is like, there has to be a better way of doing this, and they're just not looking for that better way. Which,
Yeah.
I was looking at how big this dude was. He could have gotten out of there without blowing up the planet. He could have squirmed out.
So,
All right. So really, it's they can't get out because they don't want to squirm out of a hole.
so,
All right. We all did it, Cody. We all squirmed our way out of a hole at one point. Some people had to get cut out, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there should be. Is there a celestial C-section? Okay, that's what I need to know. Okay.
saying medically there's a way to do it. Geologically,
There should be.
has to
That's
be
what I'm
another
saying.
way.
Yeah.
I did love the scale of them. Like when she goes to face, what is the name of the main guy they work
Arishem.
with? Harisham. I love that it's just like, oh, this dude's massive. Like it makes you feel so helpless. We're just like, oh, this is the dude you're going up against. Like you're not even in the same species of existence. Like, it would be like, a Chihuahua going up against an elephant. It's like, yeah, no, you guys are not even. This is not the same. If your Chihuahua wants to fight an elephant, you're done. Like it's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah. Which it never really seems like. I mean, they kind of looked at it like, oh no, it might come down to we're having to fight Arishem, and that might be where this ends up. But like, they're like, well, their goal is never to like end the Celestials, because they're like, the Celestials are the thing keeping the universe from having like a heat death, basically.
Yeah.
Which that is a crazy thing, because that is something nice with the Eternals, because they live forever. They have that perspective where they can be concerned with the heat death of the universe.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're just talking about like Iron Man, he's gonna be like, yeah, we thought that was gonna happen anyway. That's like billions and billions of years from now.
Yeah, I just love the idea of like the origin of the universe, and here's how it works, and here's how more planets are created. Like it's such a bigger scale than, because even like Endgame, it's huge. It's like, oh, half the population is gone. That's not right. We got to fix this, And Thanos has his own reasons for doing it, but it's much more personal than, no, this is how planets are made and civilizations are created. And I just love that it was the rationale for here's why we had dinosaurs and here's why we evolved to be what we are. And I was like, that's cool. I thought it was really rad. Jack Kirby, good job.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And I thought, I mean, were there some flaws? I guess so. I guess I have to admit it was not a perfect film, but I thought it was wonderful. I have a couple, just like 2 fun facts for you.
Give me these fun facts.
We talked about some of the casting. I have one more. So some other people considered for Icarus. Oh, I thought it was fun that their names all tied in with different legends and mythologies, like Mercury and Icarus and Athena and all that. So it's fun, okay? We like it. And if you don't like it, it's not for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So other people considered for Icarus: Charlie Hunnam, Alexander Skarsgård, Armie Hammer, Sam
you can't do
Heughan. I don't know Sam. Why not Armie Hammer?
Cody, you need to look up Armie Hammer and just be it. Cody, the guy, some stuff has gone on with that man. All right.
What do you mean?
Okay, so this guy he got caught up, Cody. He got Cody. He got in all of the allegations. Everybody's out here allegating everyone else, and he got in there. Here's
You
the
got
thing.
alligatored?
He got alligatored, okay? Here's what separated him from everyone else. Everyone else, they're like, oh, he pressured me to do stuff, or oh, he sent me unsolicited pictures. Army Hammer had a completely consensual, I feel like, relationship with people. But there was a lot of like cannibalism fetish stuff. And I was like, you can't recover from that. You can recover from all this other stuff. But when multiple girls come out and be like, yeah, no, he got a booner from
Oh,
talking about
this
eating
is
me.
just recently. This is only a few weeks ago. I didn't even know this one came out. Here's the problem with it. He's hot.
Exactly.
Like Harvey Weinstein, gross dude.
He is gross.
Shia LaBeouf has priors with like his arrests and being drunk and substance abuse and issue. You know, he's got issues. Okay, Army Hammer, bona fide hottie. Like everyone agrees. And look, he's not. Is he for me? Not necessarily, but he is like he's a Ken doll among
Among
G.I.
troll
Joes.
dolls?
You know, he's
yeah.
he's a beautiful specimen of a man, and women like that. So you can get away with more when you're hot.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, I would let him eat me. What's the problem? Like, what's your issue? You know?
Yeah.
That is wild. Okay. So, anyway, I just thought it'd be fun. Some other people considered for the role. And Alexander Skarsgård, though, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. He would have. Yeah,
The
he
man
would've
with
been
no
good.
pants.
I mean, I definitely think somebody at one point was like, because I gotta imagine that Kit Harington and Richard Madden like working together because I see them together in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders if one of them got cast and pushed for that for the other one. Also, if somebody was like, "Wait a second, you already cast, you got Cersei, and you're looking Richard Madden and Kit Harington are two of the possibilities for somebody in love with Cersei." That's a gold mine. Which I'll tell you what, the people behind us at the movie theater, they chuckled and muttered for a solid 10 minutes every
Oh my
single
gosh.
time one of them said Cersei. And I
That's
was
your
like,
problem.
get
They ruined it for you.
over it.
And look, you can say all that. This was made before Game of Thrones. So what's his name can eat a can you know like he can suck it. Like it's fine. All right. This is greater than
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Obviously, we all know that.
It's definitely
Game of
better
Thrones,
written.
everyone's gonna forget it. All right.
Yeah.
In 3 years' time, like as soon as these actors have enough credits that they're no longer the guy from Game of Thrones, it's gone. All right. Out of our memories. Wiped. Okay. My last fun fact.
Yes.
This is the first MCU film to receive an 18+ rating in Russia. So, meaning it's adult only, like an NC-17 kind of rating. Due to the film's portrayal of a same-sex relationship, which is illegal in Russia, which I did not know.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
I always forget when you have like essentially dictatorships that it's like, you know, that dude just makes the rules. And sometimes they're like regressively conservative.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times. Although, I know that Russia in the Cold War had a lot of campaigns about like when the U.S. was going through their civil rights thing in the 60s, Russia did a lot of things. They're like, look, everyone's welcome in communist Russia. Like, we're all cool. We're all comrades, you know? So it's interesting that like they're homophobic.
Oh, yeah.
So those are my fun facts. Also, this was the first, I'm going to say it, I'm going to crown this movie the first Marvel sex scene. The first
Yeah.
real one, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because there was one in Incredible Hulk, but there was no completion, all right? Yeah, they got a little frisky, but he's like, can't do it. My heart's going to explode and I'm going to turn to Hulk, all right? Remember that?
Oh,
It was
I
a
do
while
remember
ago,
it now.
all
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Anyway, this is the first, when it happened, I was like, oh my,
That's what I
oh,
said.
we're doing it.
Did you also
Bailey?
do the tongue thing?
I didn't do it, but I always have to look at Bailey anytime anything romantic happens because I know she's just soaking it up and she's loving it, and she loved this movie too. That's the other thing about this movie. It was so heady. I was like, I don't know, is Bailey gonna really like it? Because I'm loving it. She was like, she loved it because there was a good love story in it, and that's all she's here for. But she did say
Multiple
front-loaded
good
it
love
all.
stories, really.
It's like the best love story and the love scene and all that happens in the first bit. And then it's like, anyway, now we're doing philosophy stuff, you know. But she really liked it. And I really liked it too.
Yeah. I mean, you had like, because you had Gilgamesh and Thena as well. And
There was some will they, won't they. There were some
Was
people that
nice.
hooked up with humans. There was some, you know, there was Druig and Makari.
Yeah.
That was a thing for a bit. There's the unrequited love story. They do the whole thing. I really like that.
Oh yeah, Fastos. That's his name.
Hmm?
Him and his family. After he made the. Here's my thing. They showed him at Hiroshima, or Hiroshima, depending on how racist you are. And he's like, they're not worth saving and all that. I'm like, dude, you helped make an atomic bomb. What did you think was gonna happen? Like it's implied that he helped make it, and it's like, what? You made the bomb.
That's the question. Did he help make it, or did something he make and like did it inadvertent? Was it like, oh, this technology? Because maybe using nuclear research for like, oh, we're doing power stuff, and then it ended up being a destructive thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I got.
But also, here's the thing, Cody. You know me, history buff 101 here, all right?
Yeah.
They did projections as to how it would go if they invaded Japan.
Yeah.
That's why they dropped an atomic bomb. Because they were like, we can invade and kill everyone in Japan, and every soldier in the U.S. will probably die. Or we can wipe out a couple cities. After littering the cities with, we're about to level the city. Leave the city. And everybody was like, how dare you, sir? And then they leveled the city.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Everybody points to it. It was a tragedy. It is the reason that Japan is the only kind of first world type country that does not have nuclear weapons, because they're illegal in Japan. They refuse to use them because they're the only country that's been nuked. It's a horrible thing. A lot of people died. But also, it would have been worse had they not done that.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know that. I want everybody to be clear on that. I've talked to guys that were literally on the ships on their way to invade Japan, and he said it was the biggest sigh of relief, because they were basically told, like, yeah, you're the first wave, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're not making it through this invasion.
Can you imagine if it was just like, oh yeah, Chicago's gone? I don't know if Hiroshima was the same scale.
It was a
as
major
Chicago.
industrial, so it'd be like, I think it'd be like Philadelphia, right? Because where all the steel mills and everything are, or like Pittsburgh,
or like Detroit or something.
Yeah, so it'd be like a major industrial city. Just
Can you imagine, like, if you knew anyone in Detroit, just like, yeah, Detroit's gone. You're like, well, what about my family in Detroit, my friends in Detroit, or like what a scar that would leave.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you're gone.
Reviews for this movie is why I'm perplexed, because it's tomato score 47% tomato meter, so like bad, like the worst critically reviewed Marvel movie, but 80% audience score. And it was so heady, I thought it would be flipped. I really thought it would be like, oh, the critics loved the philosophy it dove into, but the audience was like a little left behind because it was so different from the other Marvel movies, and it was long and yada yada yada. So that's why I'm confused. Can you help me, like, understand what happened?
I wonder if some of it isn't that the critics being put on this are critics that would be put on, because like major publications have multiple critics that they put on specific types of movies. So whereas this one probably should have like the same kind of person that's reviewing like indie movies reviewing it. But it's got the same guy that they would send to do like the next Thor movie. And so that might be kind of causing it to suffer a little bit, I also wonder if there's not like people being like, well, they didn't go far enough in the like inclusivity or something, because they had like a deaf character, like of the Eternals, one was like deaf and had to talk with sign language, and then there was Fastos, who was, it was him and his husband and their child and all this stuff, and they're like, so I can see some of the people that are like really into that being like, it sucks they didn't go far enough into the left philosophy, and then people.
I know the cast was really thrilled. Like the cast was really thrilled with the inclusivity of it, and the deaf actress and Salma Hayek. Like Salma Hayek was like, it was so great to see like my dark skin. Like when I put on the costume, like I think she was like, I got emotional just like to see myself in it, and like how cool it was. It was really cool. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the critics from like the tomato one is just like, oh, it's like they tried to do too much, or it was too long, and there's just like too much going on and too many backstories, and This person says it's a parade of faces without experience. Movie that reaches back and forth through history and comes back empty-handed, which I disagree. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they did. Like, I kind of agree that it feels like they tried to do too much, but I can't see how they could have done it any better. And I did like it, but I think that's kind of what I thought when I was like, I know my parents didn't like it. Like, my
Really?
dad used my AMC stubs because for some reason he can really sneak by, and they just assume it's me. So I don't know if they just look at the last name on his driver's license or what.
They stopped looking at licenses in Kansas City. They never look at, like, I could probably book a ticket, send a screenshot to someone, and they could probably just scan in and go. I bet. Because they haven't checked my license since the pandemic started. I have never seen them check my license. Like, no one's asked for my license anymore.
Tiffany forgot her license, and I was like, "Oh, they'll let you, no problem." And then the girl was like, "I'll let it slide this time." And I was like, "You don't sound like you're joking."
Yeah.
So, would you have really not let her in when a person with the same last name just showed you his license?
Right.
Oh yeah. She also had to show, like, she had a picture of the license on her phone that she showed them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We'll let it slide this time." And I'm like,
Wow.
"Go F yourself. What are you going to do, you 14-year-old douche? Are you going to stop me? I will talk 5 minutes with your manager. I'll have you and all your pothead friends fired. All right? I will go full Karen on you right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tempt me, Cody.
I'll
But yeah,
continue.
I think that's the reason, like, my parents didn't like it is, well, they probably didn't like it because there's a gay couple.
Yeah.
You know, parents grew up in Missouri.
It's
My
gonna
dad,
happen.
He's from the right wing, conservative California. But I think they were probably like, yeah, this is too much. It's too nerdy. So that's why I think it is. It's like it's too nerdy for all the cool hip philosophy majors to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's too philosophy heavy for all the nerds to like it.
And it isn't as relatable. Like, I get that because it isn't just like, it's not like Peter Parker where it's like, hey, he's just like us. Oh, we got superpowers. What's that like? Because Marvel's kind of done with those stories. Because now they're just like, you're here, he has powers, whatever.
Yeah.
Watch it, And that's very much what this one is. And it's also like, yeah, these people live forever, so they aren't even like you. Like, they're so above you. And some of them, like Cersei likes being with people. And so, but it's like there are other people who are just like, yeah, no, what are the humans up to? All right, let's help them with this. They have this problem, so it isn't the same template, but also people complain about there being a template. So it's like, this one deviates from the template. Isn't that a good thing if we're expanding out?
It is a deviant.
It is a deviant. We must destroy it. So I don't know. There's a lot going on, but I really enjoyed it and thought it was great. So I don't know. Am I wrong? No,
No.
I'm right.
Yes. Do you want to hazard a guess at like budget and box office, all that?
I mean, it's a Marvel movie. Is it 200 million? 200 mil?
They gave me all these other numbers, but they're not giving me the budget on this one. So
Huh.
I might have to stoop to Wikipedia, Cody. I might have to stoop. Hear me? Watch
Are
me.
you stupid?
Watch me stoop.
It hurts me to see you go this low.
What'd you say? What was the number you said?
200 million.
That is correct, Cody.
Wow.
Now,
Box office. Right now, is it sitting at 450 million?
How dare you? 304.
Okay. So it hasn't performed as well. I mean, this is the weirdest time of year for movies. Like, we've never seen October, November releases like this, because normally these releases start in Thanksgiving period. This was pre-Thanksgiving. So it's just like No Time to Die, Eternals, and also like Shang-Chi was in September. This is in November. It is a weird time. There are a lot of blockbusters that came out October, November that probably normally would have been like holiday or summer releases.
Yeah. I think this is also like the first major Disney release since they went back on we're releasing everything on Disney Plus as well. No matter what, forever and all time, always Disney Plus. Every single movie. For the rest of your life, you'll be able to watch it at home should you choose, no matter what anybody says, no matter what any legal action a certain actress might take. It'll never stop. And then one movie later, they're like, all right, so we're going back on what we just said, which is why you can't trust Disney, okay? They're untrustworthy company. They're Nazis. We all know it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're never getting
true.
a Disney sponsorship now. That did it right there.
No. We don't get to sell our souls to the devil for a few dollars. I own Disney stock, by the way.
Oh, no, Cody. We have to go back and re-record every single Disney thing we've done. You got to put a disclaimer. The FTC is going to kill us. The FCC? The FAA. What is it? I don't know what.
The MMA, yeah. UFC, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Look, at the end of the day, great movie. I loved it. Do you have anything else to share? Do you want to give a letter grade?
Oh, I'll give
it a slap or letter grade on it?
I'll give it an A. You've convinced me.
I was going to say you've convinced me down from an A to an A minus.
Oh.
All right. There were some loose ends that weren't tied up, and for as much as I enjoyed it, I'll give it an A minus.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I think, here's my question. Had they not included the Deviants, had the Deviants just been like something that was done for, and it was just like the Earth was basically like ending, like all these natural disasters, and they were coming together, and then like found another way for the truth to come out, you know? Would it have been better?
Wait, are you saying they fight the Deviants instead of fighting
the
Celestial coming?
So, like, what if, okay, there was no Deviant? It was like they find Selma Hayek's character, she's dead. Icarus is like, oh, it must be a Deviant, like the Deviants must be back. But there never was a Deviant, it was just him that killed her.
Ooh. That is interesting.
So they that brings up have that storyline.
That brings up problems, because it's like, when do you reveal it? And who do they fight? Because this one, they kind of, one crutch they have is they were like, oh, the Deviants here and we're fighting them. Okay, that makes us move to the next place. And oh, here's the Deviant. You know, like, that kind of keeps the story moving along.
Yeah.
So it would be, I feel like it would be a little more dry if you didn't have those couple Deviant fights in there. So at what point would you reveal?
Now, okay. If you wanted to make it more heady, you have him recruit Sprite, basically. And have that whole Sprite choosing him over the team moment earlier. So she creates illusions. And it's really just him kind of being the punching force behind them.
Interesting.
And I feel like this seems like something that was considered. Like one of those things where they're like, they could have done this. And they're like, that seems like it's too much.
It could have been kind of like the Spider-Man Far From Home, where it's like, oh no, it's an illusion. You know, it's Mysterio's illusion that there's a thing happening. Yeah. So it would be like Sprite being like, oh no, look, this thing's happening, and it's not actually. Yeah, that would have been. It would have been a little bit cleaner narrative. It just wouldn't have left that loose end, which would have been good. I don't. Yeah, that's it. That's a very interesting idea.
Yeah, of course, the Deviant being there, even though it ended kind of in a fluff, you know, does leave it opens the door for that to come back in later.
Yeah, that's what I wonder, if it was something to do later on.
Yeah, for them to encounter like a Deviant that has absorbed all the powers, because they could just be like, oh no, this one got all of the Eternals on his planet.
Mm-hmm.
This one won.
Yeah. That is interesting. So,
because you do see like once it started doing it, like it was just a really small crew. Like you see it there in that kind of flashback where it shows what Icarus did and like allowed Ajax to die, where it wasn't necessarily like it was, oh, the Deviants are back. It was just like a handful of them.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It wouldn't take a lot.
That would have been very interesting. Yeah. Would have been a little tighter.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I think it would have gotten worse scores. Because it still would have been the same group of people that are expecting a Marvel movie, and they would have gotten an even more, like, more heady movie with less fight scenes.
Right. I mean, you keep the fight scenes, it's just, what's her name making an illusion that's doing the fighting?
Yeah.
She's just making illusions of Deviants doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting idea. It's a good one.
Hollywood, hire me. Pay me millions.
Like,
And can
I
make a
want to
movie.
recommend it, but so many people didn't. But 80% audience score is not a bad score. So I mean,
I would
it seems like
recommend
most audience members did enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
just the critics are.
it.
I feel
Tiffany,
like
would you recommend the movie? She says yes. She's
I would
nodding her head.
strongly recommend. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Said
It is
I,
very good.
I consciously thought 2 different times. I love this while watching this movie.
I liked it every time Richard Madden was on screen. That's when I said that to myself. I love this. I love this man. Don't tell
Oh
Tiffany.
man, I think she might have heard.
No, she's playing her Switch. She doesn't even know.
Oh yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for listening. You can share, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you find and share and review your podcasts. You can engage us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Opinion Havers. Yell at us. We will yell back louder and stronger and better. And until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions. His name's Star Fox.
To go from the stoic Eternals to Harry Styles rolling up in a Shazam costume. It's wild.